Maybe you've heard the Bible called the greatest story ever told. There was actually a really old, really long, really boring movie of the same title. And this would be whether fiction or nonfiction. Is it true? Could the Bible possibly be the greatest story ever told and the greatest book ever written? The short answer is yes. The Bible is hands down the greatest story ever told, greatest book ever written in all of written human history ever. Period. And nothing else is even close. Let me explain to you why. Firstly, the Bible is the most complete, concise, and well thought out story of human history ever written anywhere at any time. It lays out everything from beginning, the Genesis, to the end, the Revelation, and everything in between. Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 1 Kings, 1 Chronicles, 1 Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalm, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Psalms, Psalms, Isaiah, Malachi, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrew, James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, and Jude. See what I mean? But it doesn't just drone on like ordinary history books. It weaves in stories necessary to advancing the plot. And yes, there is a plot. Not only is there a plot, but this story is so great that over the course of thousands of years and several writers, the plot actually manages to remain intact. Good luck trying to get that out of an ordinary group of writers, each with their own style, agenda, or personal desires for glory. Then consider the intrigue. The Bible is full of twists and turns and things you would never expect to happen. The only reason you don't see it that way is because you're used to the stories. A brand new reader would in no way be able to guess what's coming next. After that, you have to notice the amazing characters. From princes to paupers, gods and demons, prostitutes and innocent maidens, all sorts of nations, giants to wee little men. You know, the wee little guy.
Zacchaeus was a wee little man, a wee little man.
Come to think about it, that song did not age very well. I mean, exactly how small do you have to be considered a wee little man? That's kind of harsh. I did not write that song. My apologies to all the wee little men out there. Either way, you have a host of characters that are simply amazing. The beauty of the characters is that they're not one note. The would-be heroes are rife with flaws, as are all real humans, completely unique and fall just as much as they rise. They love, they hate, they make the most human and relatable choices. Nothing's worse than a story with unrealistically heroic heroes, unflawed and perfect. And we're talking some serious flaws. In this book, you will undoubtedly find someone that you can relate to. The exact same can be said about the villains. Most stories have very shallow villains that are pretty much evil for the sake of story advancement. No real point. Yet in this book, you'll once again see villains that are very relatable, very authentic. You'll find yourself sometimes even feeling bad for some of them. Just consider Absalom, David's son. Whew. Not only so, they are possessed of the type of evil that is unique and real. You don't get a whole lot of the, I'm gonna kill you after this long speech, which gives you time to escape. No, it's more like, yeah, I just beheaded John the Baptist and ran James through with a sword. That's more like what evil is in real life. And when the hero finally comes, he's unlike anything you would expect him to be. So contrary to some of the artwork you might see of Jesus, the Old Testament actually prophesies what he would actually look like. What it says is that he would be a very ordinary looking person, and you wouldn't look at him and say, that guy is the hero. He was neither tall nor handsome. He was just here and sent by God. Talk about a different sort of hero. There is no other book with characterization like this. But let's not stop at the people in the book. The impact also can't be ignored. This book is extraordinary and leaves a lasting impression. This is easily the most talked about book in human history, and that's saying a lot. Of all the books ever written, can you imagine how huge it is to be the one that people talk about the most? Now, many people will bring up the what ifs. Well, if the library in Alexandria had never been burned down, who knows the books we would have gotten from there? Okay, but that's just a hypothetical. The Bible remains and stands after all these years. I'm not even done yet. There are mysteries in it that will have you talking for thousands of years, literally. The Ark and Noah is one of the most talked about stories ever. Not only so, but also his world and what it may have been like back then. You have these trees that could give wisdom and life. Where are they now? This book speaks of Behemoth and Leviathan, and while some people think these may just be elephants and rhinoceros and crocodiles, others believe that the Bible may actually mention dinosaurs even before people knew about dinosaurs. Maybe, I don't know. Not to speak of the most amazing mystery of them all, the account of creation and the force behind such a power. The single most talked about scientific thing ever, the origin of life. Still, in spite of all that, it leaves you wanting more. While some books leave you wanting less, or just leave you. However you feel about the Bible, it usually creates more questions that make you want to delve into it more deeply. It gives you exactly how much information you need before moving on to the next point. That's just great writing. Bottom line, the Bible is easily the greatest story ever told, but that's not all. There's much more to it than that. The Bible is a book that weaves a story of love, tragedy, gain and loss, life and death, meaning and purpose, world histories, family, societal structures and rule of law, nations and peoples, heaven and hell. And with all of that, a hope that can conquer it all. Absolutely recommended reading. Get yourself a copy, but don't steal it though. What's up with the Bible being the most stolen book ever? I mean, you can pretty much get it free anywhere. Churches will give it out, apps will give it to you. Just get a copy for free. Or steal one, I guess, I don't know. For what this book attempts to do, the precision and focus is immaculate and nothing of consequence is left out. This is the most talked about book ever for good reason. The emotion and inspiration it creates is nearly one of a kind. Definitely one of few. So much so that this book has stood time's testing of erasing books, especially books that boast about being manifestos of gods and mystics, angels, demons, and wisdom. This story somehow still works. So to me, this all points to this book, this greatest story of all time, being more than just a mere book. Its authenticity points to the fact that it's not simply a work of fiction. This book is history. This book is inspired. Come to think of it, this book is kind of a cheat. If God is the author behind this greatest work of all time, then of course it's going to be the greatest work of all time. And that's exactly what the Bible is. This is a story penned for humanity by God, that we could know all of these things that it tells us about. That being said, is it the greatest story ever told? Absolutely, no question about it.